everybody.
Hi guys.
Mr. and Mrs. Traveler here.
El Cost Glam at home.
At home. Our desire was to shoot on location today, but it is extremely hot today, so we opted for the indoors.
Too much heat index is not enough sunblock for us to be outside today. Yes. So we decided to stay inside. We hope that you love this environment.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today as we discuss today our pros and cons of the Carnival Horizon.
Yes, I'm so excited. If you love this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more about us. We are a travel couple. We travel the world and we bring those views to you. And if you love us, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And if you want to schedule your next adventure, contact us at 877-697-4470, or you can reach us via email at...
Well, you can hit us on the website at www.mr-traveler.com.
If you've watched our previous pros and cons, you know that Mr. and Miss Traveler have different views on everything. We also keep it very honest, and this is our opinion, so make sure you comment below and let us know if you agree or not agree with us, okay? So we decided
in love.
Yes, and in love, and we decided to make a list on board, separate from each other, showing what we like and what we don't like. Okay?
Okay, so let's jump right into it. Mrs. Traveler actually has more of an extensive list, so we're going to kind of go through with hers, and I'll kind of chime in and give my thoughts on here because I've got some notions going on. But let's start off talking about just the ship overall, the appearance of the ship, just the general decor and everything.
Yeah, let's talk about the decor. It was so pretty. I really love the decor.
So the ship was obviously very similar to the Carnival Vista. There are just a few differences, subtle differences in the in some of the onboard selections and things on board the ship. But other than that, very few differences. The decor was basically almost exactly the same, and the layout of the ship is pretty much exactly the same. But I really enjoyed it. The layout of the ship is very nice. In typical fashion, Carnival has that, I guess, only weird thing, and I guess this will be my first con, but this is always kind of my thing with Carnival, which I think is kind of weird, is the how deck 4 is interrupted always with the kitchen, right? So you have to go kind of up to go down.
Go down.
Yeah, or it's actually that deck 3. Yeah, it's that deck 3. Like you can't walk all the way through to the other dining room. So if you have, if you're in the main lobby and your dinner or whatever is in the aft restaurant, you have to go up to deck 4, go down, and then come back down to go to dinner. It's just kind of weird configuration. But if you're used to Carnival ships, then you know you go to deck 5, you walk down, and you go down. You know, you kind of figure out where your main thoroughfares are. But overall, I really enjoyed the decor of the ship. The layout of the ship was very nice.
So my views on the decor of the Horizon was, it was new. I really loved the fact that it was a Euro ship and it was still new. You know, I didn't see any rust. The decor I really loved. It seemed like a really close sister ship, almost a twin to the Vista. I really loved the funnel. The funnel was lit. It changed colors, it changed flowers, it changed to tornadoes, it changed to sceneries, and I really could sit there and look at that big giant, it was like an LED funnel inside the atrium. That was really pretty.
Okay, yeah, the centerpiece, yeah. Yeah, they actually have two of them, yeah, right there, that one there, and then the one that goes to the casino.
Yeah, I love when you walk down the hallway, it felt like the sunshine, the Carnival sunshine, where it was really bright, the colors was really pretty. I really loved the decor of the ship, but it was kind of matchy to me. So that was kind of a pro and con. I cannot wait to get on the Mardi Gras where we having a group cruise and see the difference in another ship. It just looked very similar to the Vista, the sunshine, the breeze. It looked similar.
All right, let's get the elephant out of the room. Probably my least favorite part of the ship, and I don't want to use the word hate, but I am not a fan at all of the elevators on the ship.
Okay. That was one of my cons too.
Yeah, so let's chop it up a little bit about the elevators now, especially on the first day. I'm telling you, you're either going to be waiting a long time or you're going to be hiking the stairs.
With your luggage.
Literally.
If you have it.
So, if you saw the tour of the ship, I showed you guys how it worked on the elevator. So you go up and you wave your hand in front of the sensor, and it comes, the screen comes up, and you push what floor you want to go to, and then the little magical lady in the box will tell you, go to car V. And so you stand over there at car V, and you're supposed to wait for your car. And then when you get on board the elevator, there's no buttons or anything. It's predetermined to go to the floor that you selected. The problem becomes, obviously, the first day nobody absolutely does not know how to use it, so that's a disaster.
Yes, there's a learning curve for everybody.
So then part 2, if you're standing waiting for your elevator, say you go up to deck 10 or something, and the elevator opens up, there's a ton of people, you can't get on, guess what? You got to walk over to the little magic lady in the box and try to figure it out again. It's very, very frustrating. Now, at times when there's not a lot of crowds or anything on there, it worked just fine. But at peak times, like going to dinner and going to events and things like that, or trying to get off the ship, it was absolutely terrible.
I have 2 cons for the elevator.
Okay.
I want to also piggyback on Mr. Traveler's con. I thought that it was such a learning curve. I'd like to just get on the elevator, push it, and go. You have to figure it out first before you can go on your vacation to go to your room to lay down because you're tired from traveling all day. I thought it was kind of a learning curve for me. It took me a while to learn how to use the elevator. Once I got it, I had it. But then there were 2 things about the elevator I didn't like. Number 1, the elevator went down for 10 minutes. With our subscribers, 2 of our subscribers that went on a group cruise with us, they got stuck on the elevator for 10 minutes. So I think they need to work out some twerks in there, some little quirks and things. Is a brand new ship, so maybe they need some technical help with that because it's so advanced. Maybe it went down. 10 minutes on the elevator sounds really short, but it's scary if people are claustrophobic or they're not used to being in closed spaces.
But I will give them this on the elevator, which I did appreciate, and it's probably because they saw how much issues people were having. On days when you come back from the ports and you get on board the ship, they would have a worker on one of the elevators who could manually override the elevator. So he would come down, people would load up, and he would ask him, what floor are you going to? He would take them and then go back down. So that was good. It helped speed things up like that. I tried to bribe him to get the key so that I could manually operate the elevator.
Magic key.
But sadly, he would not give it to me.
And my second con was there wasn't enough elevators. I just felt for almost 5,000 people on the ship, all the elevators were central, and it should have been more elevators. If there were more elevators, maybe the lines wouldn't be so long to get on them, and it wouldn't be so packed. They were very small and tight, as you can see in this video right here.
Excuse me, thank you.
Sorry.
You okay? That's one of my biggest cons for the ship, the elevator situation. I'm not a fan of, and I truly hope that the Mardi Gras I hope they don't replicate that system.
Me too. Some people like it, some people don't. So comment below and let us know if you love the new elevators or you just despise them.
I'm actually curious to see, and I don't know, I haven't researched it yet, whether or not the panorama that just came out has them. We'll have to find out. Do you know? Let us know. Yeah. Let's talk about something on the positive side.
Yes. Let's go to our pros.
What you got?
The staff was incredible. Indeed. Mike, the cruise director, made my cruise. He was fantastic. I saw him everywhere. It was like he was a Energizer bunny. Everywhere we were, he was. And I don't know how he did it. It's like he didn't sleep the entire cruise. He was everywhere. He was on TV. He was up and down our hallway, shaking our hand. When we left the port to go to ports, he was on ports. That was my first time seeing a cruise director on port. I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I got to agree. The staff, not only Mike Pack was the cruise director for this, he was absolutely phenomenal, great cruise director, but the entire staff on board the ship was really awesome as far as the service levels go. So with the dining room staff, the room attendants, the people working to get you on and off the ship, it was just really, really good service. I was well pleased.
I agree. The staff worked tirelessly for us and our group, and they made our stay a little bit better. We didn't have bad service. Not one day. My room attendant stocked me up on things I needed. I didn't even have to ask. Ice, tissue, sheets, everything. I really loved our staff. I want to take them home.
And we can kind of segue this into one of our cons that we have coming up. But we had an issue in the dining room on the first night.
We did.
With the ship, and we just kind of casually mentioned it. We didn't even make a full out, big deal about it, right?
Right.
We just kind of mentioned it like, hey, this is an issue here. And the next day when we woke up, everybody had cards in their cabins, and they moved our table, and they actually put us in a really, really nice location.
They really did.
At the aft, what they did was they put us in the my time dining, in the aft of the ship on deck 4, but they put us like smack in the middle so that we were looking down, and we were right in the middle, and then looking down on everybody too. So it was a really great seat. We could see everything, really good people watching everything. So
yeah, I really like how they accommodated us. As soon as the issue came up, they just moved us to another dining room, and that was just awesome.
Right, without us having to even make a formal complaint about it.
Right.
We just kind of mentioned
it. was done before we even knew it.
Like, hey, could you guys, because the waiter came by and like, hey, this happened. Could you guys, see, you might want to tell them about this or whatever. And we left it at that. And the next day they just totally accommodated us.
I really, really love the staff that's on the Horizon. They were A-OK. They were awesome.
So so what happened with the issue at dinner? And it wasn't just the dining room. It was several locations around the ship.
It was. What happened was they had an air conditioning problem, and it caused the air conditionings to drip water. But when we had dinner, we wanted to make sure that our food wasn't contaminated with the water that was dripping down on us. Some people were talking, and all of a sudden you'll see drip, drip, drip. We're like, wait a minute, what's going on? So as soon as that happened, they were right on it.
Right, and it wasn't just like, how sometimes when you come off of the pool deck and you're in those areas there where you got a lot of hot and cold and you get condensation. I get that. We were actually in the dining room, like in the middle of the dining room, and that was coming off the ceiling like that.
Yeah,
and we saw that in a few other places on the ship too. So
we did. So hopefully they fixed it, but they just moved us to another space, and it was better than what we had before, so I didn't have a complaint about that.
All right, well, let's keep the pro train going. What you got?
Let's go. Just to add with the elevators, if you were a mother with big strollers and you had kids with you and you had bags in your strollers and you was coming off port days off the island, there was a special button that you can push that gives you special access to go straight to your room. A lot of people didn't know that about the elevators, but that was kind of a secret that I found out on the ship. So that was a pro. So you can push a special button, and I'll show it right here on the elevator, and you can push that button and it'll help open the door a little bit longer, and it'll help mothers get the babies onto the elevators or wheelchairs onto the elevators, and it will accommodate handicapped guests. There was a special button on there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the whole door open button?
No, it was a different button. Also, another pro is the DJ. I thought the DJ was hilarious on Sail Away.
Oh, yeah.
He made an announcement to make sure the kids didn't have an accident in the pool. He let everybody know what time the clubs was going to start. He was very interactive and just made everybody laugh at the Sail Away parties. I thought the DJ was really good on this show.
Yeah, they were good. It was two of them. It was a girl and a guy, and they were both very good. Matter of fact, the guy, I apologize, I can't remember his name, But I think that they announced that he got selected for the Mardi Gras.
Oh, he did good.
Yeah, I believe so.
He was a good DJ. I thought he was playing really good music. He made sure that he covered all the genres and made sure everybody was happy at the celebrate parties. And he was just really upbeat, and the kids loved him. So I thought he was a good DJ.
I love the fun zones on the ship. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the air bike. I'm talking about the obstacle course, and definitely talking about the water slide thing. You know, the kids got the little Dr. Seuss playland where it's little waterfalls and buckets dropping on you. And guess who's the biggest kid?
Right here.
That's up in there. I don't care. I'm like, move! I'm coming.
The kids have some of the better water features than adults do.
I'm like, come on!
Let's be honest.
I was sitting there running through the thing like, hey guys, it's a car wash, come on! And I'm running through the thing with them.
All the kids follow him. He just have fun when he out. But I think sometimes the kids have more features than the adults do.
Yeah, the you know, especially when you got a full-blown ship and the pools are packed. I don't like getting in there with, like, when there's pool play. I miss the days of the old ships when they had a bunch of swimming pools.
Yes.
You know, I really miss that because now there's only, you know, one pool here, one pool there, you know, and they're packed.
Yeah.
You know, so when it gets like that, having an area like that where you can just go cool off and everything is nice. So bravo for all the fun zone areas, the basketball courts, the water slides, the Dr. Seuss play area, you know, the air cycle, whatever that thing's called, I can't remember. The obstacle courses up there, the putt-putt golf. I mean, it's tons to do.
It is.
While we're talking about fun things for children to do, let me segue this into...
Let's go to the con.
Let me segue into this. And yes, it was specific to the ship, but I'm going to kind of target this towards Carnival in general. The kids were out of control on this ship. And I get kids having fun and all that. That's great. However, there are supposed to be curfew times on this ship. Carnival did nothing to police the kids on here. They were out of control. Like, they were running down, knocking on people's doors. And we're talking like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, cussing to the top of their head. You know, and again, listen, I was a kid myself, and I did a bunch of stupid stuff when I was a kid. But for the most part, I mean, I was always taught to respect my elders, to respect adults.
Especially when they paying this much money for a cruise.
Yeah, you know, so there was zero control over the kids. I'll give you an example of this, by the way. The day we came back into port, coming back into Miami, we were up early because we were trying to get off the ship early. We had things to do. Yeah. So I went out like at 4 in the morning. When we were very close to Miami, so I could get a phone signal, and just going over everything, just making sure that the bank account looked good, credit cards look good, all that good stuff, right? I go out there at 4 o'clock in the morning. There are kids running everywhere at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Cussing, running. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Like they had like slept on the pool chairs all night long, and just. I was like, oh, wow, you know, which I don't think I would necessarily have a problem with that if they were being cool about it, but they were being like rambunctious.
It was nobody, no attendant out there for the kids at all.
So, and when we've been on other lines, like, and you know, I get it, it's a summer cruise, so it's going to be a lot of children. So we've been on summer trips on MSC, on Royal, on Norwegian. They police the kids. I mean,
yes, they do.
You know, when it's like 11, 12 o'clock at night, it's like,
yep, curfew.
Go to your room, and if I see, you know, if they see you again, they're going to escort you personally to. I mean, I've seen this.
I see a lot of security out with their walkie-talkies at night on Royal. Even on the elevators, they were playing on the elevators all night long.
Yeah, the elevators you already couldn't get on, they were going in there pressing all the call buttons and all that stuff. So, that was out of control.
It was. I have to agree with Mr. Traveler. School is out, you know, but when you're paying that much money for a summer cruise, and summer cruises are more expensive than any other time of the year, you want to make sure you enjoy it, whether you have kids or not. And some of these parents, they just let the kids just run rapid on the ship, and it's disturbing everybody, especially 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It can cause your vacation to be a little shorter, you know, if you know what I'm saying. But you want the kids to have fun. Then again, you want them to be respectable. On this ship, I have never seen so many disrespectful kids on the ship ever. I have to just say that. Out of almost 50 cruises, they were cursing. They didn't care if parents was around, adults, elderly people, handicapped, it didn't matter, you know. And yeah, get on the elevator, and you know, it could have been policed a little better with security. So we asking Carnival, why don't you just beef up your security a little bit more and make sure everybody have a good time on your ship? That way we'll keep coming back.
and kind of off topic of the kids, I was standing there one day, and we were looking as the ship was sailing away, and there was a guy, you know, we were on the outer deck with a lot of people. It was like a sail away type of deal, right? And you know, maybe 20 feet from me were a couple of the security officers for Carnival, and then maybe 20 or 30 feet past them was a guy down there smoking. That he was not on the smoking side of the ship to begin with, so he wasn't smoking where he was not supposed to be smoking yet. Then he flicked the cigarette into the ocean. Well, he flicked it,
and it came back.
And I looked at it going down, and it came back in on deck 3 or 4 down there. It came back in the deck, and I looked at the security people. I'm like, "You saw that, right?" And they said, "Yeah," and they just kept talking. They did absolutely nothing about it.
That was not a good move on Carnival staff part. I didn't like that, because they could have burned the ship down, and we are all on the ship. They have to do something about the smoking.
Yeah, fire and ships are not a really good combination.
No, they're not. Yep, we're not against smokers. If you smoke, that's your prerogative. But when my life is at hand, I got a problem with it. When you flicking cigarettes off deck and it bounces back in, that is so much danger.
Oh, and what if it didn't bounce back in and it goes in the ocean? I can't stand that.
Me either. That's pollution.
I can't stand it.
So,
anyway.
Well, might as well stay on that subject. Right. This is the most packed ship I ever been on. It was the most people I have ever seen packed on the ship, and I think it's because of the layout of Carnival Horizon. It was very sectioned. It was tight sections for the Lido deck, tight sections for the restaurants. It was just really tight. It felt like the lines was really long on the ship for some reason. Maybe it was because it was so many people, or I remember hearing about an incident that happened on Vista. Maybe it was more people on this ship because of the Vista incident.
Yeah, but Vista was canceled, so
the lines were so long.
Yeah.
Back to reality in a few days.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Sorry.
Raw onions.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the food was pretty good, but the lines was just long.
Yeah, let's go to that then. The food was good. I mean,
the food was hit or miss.
I would say that I personally, this is probably we differ, who knows, but I would say the food definitely hit more than it missed. I did have a couple of
I have to wait towards the hit than the miss.
Yeah, we had a lot of good meals. You know, the dining room selection was very good.
It was good.
The pizza place was awesome.
I really liked the pizza place, but the line was long.
Yeah, the line was really long. But the pizza was very good. They hooked that up, and so in general, the food was very good. I'm not a big fan of Carnival breakfast anymore. I just don't know what's going on there. Like the eggs are watery and runny, and
no.
And I like the hash brown potatoes, like
those are good.
Hash brown. And they only put them out like one day during the whole cruise.
Well,
the rest
that's
of the
why
time,
I like to order an omelet to order.
they're like chopped up potatoes and stuff like that. So
do they put water in the eggs? Because I noticed when you're going to get eggs, scrambled eggs, there's water in there. I don't.
I guess I don't know, but overall, the food was more hit than miss.
I thought the food was pretty good.
I didn't have a bad meal. Let me put it like that.
In our group, they thought the food was just okay. Everybody was saying in our group they've had better. Now, as far as the seafood shack, it was good.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So definitely, I think that we're talking about a seafood shack. We're talking about guys picking anchor. Yep,
the specialties.
The Italian, and then the what's the other one we went to? The sushi place.
The sushi place, Bonsai.
Yeah, Bonsai. Thank you. Those places that have add-on charge to them, I have to admit I was kind of skeptical on trying those at first because I'm like, listen, I've already paid all this money for this cruise.
It was not cheap.
But listen, I would tell you this, and I still kind of sort of feel that way. But they get you because they have you come back from a port at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But guess what? At 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the buffet stops. So you've only got a choice. You can get a guy burger, but listen, I'm only trying to eat so I'm gonna have like 1, maybe 2 a cruise because
I eat them every day.
They're
pretty heavy.
I'm trying like everything to lose some weight.
Mr. Traveler has lost 14 pounds, everybody.
So I'm trying.
Yeah, I lost 7.
So, but when you come in, there's not a lot of meal choices. So we started trying some of the add-on stuff. So I have to say and admit that you do get a nice amount of food for your money. Like for the sushi place, we spent $20 for the sushi boat. It was like a sampler.
That was at Bonsai.
It was so much food.
It was. We'll show you a picture right here. It was really good, and make sure you stay tuned for cruise food. We're gonna show you what we ate on the cruise, but Bonsai was
that would be like $40 here in Florida.
It was so much food,
if not more than that.
It filled up me and Mr. Traveler, and we had some left.
We split it.
We didn't even eat all of it. It was too much.
I can't tell you when we get a date night for $20. But the seafood shack, same thing. You got we got the shrimp for like $6, and we split it. It was nice. Good. Just tied us over to dinner. It was good.
It was good.
So now let me address this, and I don't know, and you guys tell us whether or not you've seen this, what you've been seeing lately. But what I noticed was it looks like they are trying to shy away from using the Liquid Lounge, which is the main theater. When they first created these ships and created the Liquid Lounge. Which they started that with the Sunshine, I believe. Yes. And then morphed it into the Vista and that. So there's a few ships at a time. But when they started it, the intent was that it was a dual purpose facility. Yeah. So it was the theater for the early evening. Then they moved all the chairs out and it turns into the nightclub. Right. That's where everybody go at night. So, but it seems like they have totally moved away from that. So, overall, it was a really great experience on board the Carnival Horizon. It really, really was. And, just understand this, that when we bring these things to you, we're not trying to nitpick on little things as we really don't go and look and say, oh, look at this, look at this, look at that. We don't do that, but we try to bring things to you that we feel are within the cruise line's control, within the ship's control, to provide an excellent experience for everybody on board the ship. Everybody has paid their money, works hard to get on board the ship, and everybody deserves that opportunity to have a good experience. So the things that we bring are things that we feel are within the ship's control. I think it's general and I think it's fair, the topics that we talk about.
these are our experiences, and if they relate to yours, why don't you comment below and let us know what did you think about the Carnival Horizon when you rode it. I know there's a 6-day and an 8-day, right?
Yeah, so currently this ship is doing the 6 to 8 day rotation.
Okay.
So if you're considering doing this ship, I would tell you that there is a difference in the crowd between the 6 and the 8 day. So especially during the summertime, you will find more likely that during the 8-day trip you will probably have less children on board the ship. It'll probably be a more mature crowd for people that have the ability to take a couple extra days off work, or they're retired or whatever.
Or retirees.
So
that's on a real vacation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a more laid back on the 8-day.
And this, and we experienced the same thing when we did the Sunshine with our group that time. It did 6-day and 8-day trips at the time, and we went on the 8-day one.
And it was more laid back.
Yeah. And then we could see as you came on board with the other group, it was a young crowd. There was a lot of kids and everything. So it's just your preference or whatever. Just putting it out there for you to know that there are differences in those lengths of cruise.
All in all, I really like the Carnival Horizon. We hope you do too. And make sure you stay tuned for cruise food that's coming up, and also the cruise vlogs. We have a line of group cruises that's lined up. Whether you want to go to Hawaii or you want to go to the Mediterranean, your choice. Just let us know. And give us a call at 877-697-4470, or you can reach us at www.mr-traveler.com.
That's mr-traveler.com.
Yep.
All right, everybody. As always, thank you so much for watching. We love and appreciate each and every one of you.
We hope you enjoyed these pros and cons coming from the travelers.
All right, everybody. Life's short.
Have fun.
See the world.
Go see the world. It's big. Bye.
Bye, guys.